Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, crypto fam, and welcome back to GOAT Media, the greatest of all trader media invest. Okay. Bitcoin still sitting here trying to hold on to support. Still trying to hold on to support. Great zone right here. I shared with you yesterday that I entered into the long position here. Um, And I played this area, actually little small bounces here and there quite a few times. The last loan that I was in here, I got stopped out of, and that was last night. So I just took a quick little scalpy in here a few minutes ago. Just giving this 4 hour a little bit of time right now. So Bitcoin is still sitting at this support, trying to hold on. Great support level right here. Channel formation here. Um, You can see right here, connecting our highs through here. And I actually drew this off of the monthly time frame, so you might see it miss a point here or there because it's just going to appear different than on the weekly. Slightly, ever so slightly. And then of course we have our horizontal support, which is both of our 2021 highs in here. So you have your first peak here and you have your second peak here, minus the wicks. This is what's been holding price action up this entire time. This is where we came to. This is where we saw no closures below. This is where we went down to the low here. And I have a fib extension in here. I did have the 786 combo right here. I deleted that because this is all we need right here. And if we break that, then of course there is an additional trend line through here. But right now we're holding up pretty decent in here. This would be the other way that support level would come in, would be with this diagonal trend line here, coming off of these two lows right here. That would be the second alternative to the channel formation. The high and the low is still the same right here, but it can be different if you're on the monthly time frame, which is basically these two monthly highs and lows right here. And of course, this VWAP right here. I've seen people using a moving average. I can't remember which one that I've seen, but I'm using VWAP, and this VWAP is just simply drawn off of the first monthly green candle following the 2021 to 2022 bear market. So the first monthly green candle is where VWAP is anchored to. And you'll see that we bounced off of that here, and we're trying to hold it here as well. So we've been holding up pretty decently, whether that, whether that gives us a really, really tiny bounce in here or we manage to take out this wick high right here. Don't know. And then of course we will have some targets to the lower side that we can talk about. But for now, I'm just looking for Bitcoin to hold in here. As I was saying to you yesterday, historically Bitcoin has held prior highs. It has held prior highs. I think that there was one instance I was looking at yesterday, and I was like, don't do that to me. And we could see that price action actually it didn't exactly hold that high. Um, I could make it work. I could make it work, but I'm just going to be realistic here. But for the most part, Bitcoin historically has held its prior highs as support. Things can change. They can change. They can change. Okay. Something else I was thinking about too with Bitcoin is that it usually, well, I don't know if I can really say that. I can go through here and see, but I'm thinking that it only breaks one low, and that's it too. Like it only breaks one low. Um, Maybe it does too, but I'm thinking it only breaks one low, and then that's it. If it were only breaking one low, and that would be our low right there, and then it comes into the prior support. Now, this is a little bit different right in here because I could count this as one, and then this is two. So that would be a little bit different if I was going with that narrative. Over here, you can see it breaks one. Unless you count it like that, it really doesn't have two green candles. So I don't even know what to make of that. And then we look over here, you can see it breaks one. Um, I mean, it's not a lot of history to it. It really isn't a lot of history to it. But for what I'm noticing, it tends to just break one low, and then it taps into the prior highs and holds it as support, and off to the races we go. Off to the races we go. Now this is on a monthly chart, so it's gonna look a little sketch. Actually, let me drop down to the. Let's try it like this. That's one low broken. If you ask me, that's one low broken. There's only this section right here has two green candles. So that would be one move down, one move up, and one move down. So it's one, two, three. It's a three-wave move. One, two, three. Now this is a little bit more. Well, it hasn't broken this low just yet. Let's see. Let's see. This is the Binance chart, but I'm already invalidating it, so it was worth a try. It was worth a try. But back to this. This looks beautiful. It looks beautiful, but we'll see how we do. How we do. Getting a little bit of a rejection here off the 15-minute time frame. Kind of chop suey here off the 15-minute time frame. Um, no, it's the daily chart right here. Let me go in this direction. Yeah, very choppy here on the 15-minute time frame. We did swipe the liquidity from the lows here yesterday. So previous day low liquidity was taken. When I was looking at this on the 4-hour time frame, it looks like we had a capitulation candle here. Like that first candle that dropped down into VWAP, that looks like a capitulation candle. And then when we took this liquidity right here, I noticed the volume was a lot less. So this could have just been a liquidity grab right here. It's very possible that we could look to hold this range and see a bigger pop up for Bitcoin. Right now, we do have a defined range in here. For the 1 hour time frame, I trapped it like this right here. Volatility is now around this area right here, that high, this low right here. We did have this little pennant in here, so a bear pennant in here that we got the breakdown from, but it wasn't aggressive because these lows are actually holding price up. Wasn't an aggressive sell off there. Something just happened with the stream. I'm not sure what that was. And then I had a trend line going through here, but we were chopping that trend line so much, I went ahead and deleted it. But that could be an indication also of us trying to get this pop to the upside. It was just a little bit too choppy, so I took that one off. It was this right here, but you can see how we were chopping, choppy, 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 choppy. It looked like some sort of a broadening formation across the top there and then across the low. So look, that's what it looked like to me. You can see some outside bars in here. So more than likely that's what it was before we finally swipe that liquidity down there. But like I said, volatility is around this zone right here. And therefore, this is the pattern formation that I'm working with down here at this low. Let me just take a look at that once again right here. Yeah, volatility is around this area right in here. Could change this ever so slightly. I could take the wicks out and do it more so something like this right here. Could take the wicks out and do that. Uh, Prefer the wicks in this case, but that's what we're working with. This could be some sort of an ending formation right here for a pop. Don't know. Don't know. Um, I'm gonna leave it just like that. And what I was saying about the volume in here, you can see this hot spike in volume right here where we got this nice little pop back to the upside after tapping into that VWAP and that channel low right there. You see the volume on that, and then you see the volume comparison over here. Lower volume, this was still some good volume right here as well on this green candle right here. So buyers are stepping in here, okay? Buyers are stepping in. So I love that. It's a little bit of a, yeah, it's bullish divergence. It's definitely bullish divergence right there as buyers are stepping in. But we got a long way to go. We got a lot of work to put in on Bitcoin if we're going to see Bitcoin hold and get a pop to the upside. A long way to go. So no rush. I'm not rushing to jump back into anything at all. Most certainly, I don't want to, like, you can scalp the lows for shorts, but I don't want to take that risk right now in terms of trying to scalp support for a short. It will work. It will work because we're bearish enough for it, but it's stupid. And I'd rather just sit out of the trade right now, at least until I see another confirmation for me to attempt this long again. We don't have a trend right now on the 15 on the 1 hour um, either. At least not yet. At least not yet. Wait for us to come back down again here before I do anything. Um, Sell off on Zcash and Hyperliquid. Um, the triple V's to be expected. It actually did something that I thought we were going to do. The entire market is really a slaughterhouse right now. Um, let's take a look at ZEC. Take a look at ZEC while I'm waiting on Bitcoin. It's getting this correction right now. Bitcoin is it's not moving fast, but it is starting to get this little bit of a correction. So this is Zcash right here. You can see I'm waiting. We did have this head and shoulder formation right here. You can see it a lot clearer here off of the daily time frame. But nonetheless, this is where we found the resistance at, which was my weekly level up here. Um, so if you shorted, congratulations to you because this is something that we covered. I did not take a short in Zcash. I took a short in the triple V's. But yeah, we were looking at either this level right here working as the resistance level or the golden pocket up ahead, and we ended up pausing out right here at my weekly level here, or at the weekly average range here, and then we put in this head and shoulders. There was some sort of a breach with well, the headline Archer, so Zcash Archer. I have a hard time with that Archer vulnerability. They fixed the issue, but nonetheless, this was already showing in the charts that we were had hit the resistance and we were looking for the lower high to come in. This just added to the sell-off, the selling pressure, but it was not a situation that we were aware of when we were calling this right here as toppy. Tried to bounce off of the 786 golden pocket right here. Got that lower high, and yeah, measure move has been tapped. We also tapped into the support level down here. I have my alarm set up on this. I'm being patient with this. I am looking to take a long off of Zcash. I'm being very patient with it. I'm going to play the 4 hour time frame, so I'm not concerned about the candle coming up right now. At this moment, I'm not. The sell off was so aggressive. I would look for it to get some chop and not some sort of a V-shaped recovery. We'll see how it goes. But we did tap into you can see this trend line here that connects. Actually, let me darken this up so you can see it a lot better. My bad. Sometimes forget that it's only me that can see it. But right here, you have this low to this low right here, acting as a momentum line through here, and you can see Zcash came down and tapped that and the 261. Initially, we were looking for price action to come back in here, but honey, when I was looking at it, I was like, it's not gonna make it. And the measured move was all the way down here, so it's like just sit it out, give it time to finish doing what it's doing, and then we'll take a look at it. So yeah, initially, this is what we were watching for. This was looking for price action to come into here. A couple of days back, we were looking for it to come into here, and we had the VWAP in here, and it ended up just slicing through it. But like I said, the measure move was showing that it should come further anyway, and therefore I just left it alone. And I set my alarm clock on my indicator just to understand when momentum might be trying to come to the upside. I wasn't really, I'm not looking at any of this right here at the moment. I'm going to give Zcash some time despite the bounces, let it chop around a little bit, and then I'm going to look for a long entry on this puppy. Um, So you can see how I got it laid out in here. It did get pretty extended in here to the downside. Um, Same thing goes for Hyperliquid, which let me get up here. We had already identified that Hyperliquid was at resistance up here long before we understood that what's the dude's name? Um, because yeah. Arthur Hayes was selling. Okay. We did put in we set up 2 long positions in here. One off of the 382, which did bounce up. We saw yesterday that it did not swipe this little high. It was set to swipe this little high, but nonetheless, it was a nice little scalp trade right here. Which I wouldn't even call it a scalp because we were in here for a little bit longer than normal for a scalp position. And then the second one was supposed to be right in here, but, yeah, no need in trying to take that right now. I did get a signal in here that the, momentum broke on the weekly time frame for, Hyperliquid, so definitely don't wanna be trying to, uh, catch trades off of this one just yet. Just give it some time to, put in some market structure. You don't have any right now, so if you're still bullish on it, you just give it some time for that. I don't I don't even know how much he's selling, how much impact it's gonna have on Hyperliquid or any of that. We're at an area in here where we could see it, try to hold the support in here, possibly put in a shoulder over here for that continuation down, being that the weekly momentum. And actually, let me just take a look at that real quick. Uh, yeah, you can see right here the weekly momentum being broken right here. Red dot on top, weekly momentum being broken right here. Um, it still has to confirm, but it is what it is. It is what it is. You can see the resistance right here. Tap, tap, tap. It is what it is. Okay. So not gonna pretend like it's something else. The best support for Zcash is gonna come in down here. Zcash doesn't have a lot of weekly levels. $51 is something that I will be watching for to see if we don't get a bounce off of $51. We'll see if those inflows continue for the ETF. See if people still feel bullish on this thing or whatever. But yeah, this is the situation right now. Weekly momentum is breaking on Zcash. I'm sorry, on Hyperliquid. It's breaking on Hyperliquid. Okay. I was talking about this the other day too because I was telling you that I was reading comments and someone was saying they wanted to sell their Solana and move into Hyperliquid. And my thing was what I said to you was that is the craziest idea. Hyperliquid is sitting at resistance. Why would you want to sell? Like you want to jump on a bullish narrative. Solana is at lows. It can go lower, sure, but you don't want to switch from something. Solana has a great narrative still. Solana is heavily being utilized way more than Hyperliquid, but you getting caught up in the hype, no pun intended. You're getting caught up in the hype and you're thinking about selling your Solana to move into Hyperliquid. You selling something that is lows to move into something that is highs, and then you mad at crypto. Then you start blaming crypto. Then you feel like the project is a piece of crap because you chose to move your money, chasing the capital to get in at highs. No sirree, Bob. No, sorry, Bob. That's not the move. That's not the move at all. Just not the move. Okay, so we could look for a shoulder to come in here on Hyperliquid to get a move down. It's one of these key levels in here. Right now, this is minor. This is a minor zone in here. Not interested in here. Not right now. Not right now. But it will come back up and chop around and put in a lower high and then continue down, given that weekly momentum is breaking. It is breaking. Okay. So don't be getting bullish. I'm not saying get super bearish, but yeah, slow your roll on Hyperliquid, especially with Bitcoin falling off right now. That's the other thing I said to you. I said when something reaches its resistance and Bitcoin is selling off, it's gonna start moving with Bitcoin at that point. It always does that. And when you see it moving with Bitcoin, you know it's over. You know it's over. If Bitcoin is going down and it had been going up and it's finally doing what Bitcoin is doing, you know it's over. I said that to you last week. I said that about Zcash. Let's see what else we got. The V's in here, which I'm so glad to see this one. Like this is shorted here. I shorted here. And then, of course, I talked about the fact that it could do this situation right here, which it did. This is one of those. You ever hear somebody passed away and it was like they were 100 years old, and it's you care, but it's like, oh, okay, you lived a great life. Like your feelings are a little bit different. You lived a great life. That's how I feel about the triple V's. Definitely overrated. Definitely overrated. Had a nice run. Had a beautiful run. I feel no kind of way about this one trying to come down. It has been holding up really, really good, though. I will give it that. It has been holding up really, really good. It looks like it's gonna try again, trying to put in this inside candle right here. I'm not interested in long in the V's. Only shorting this one. Only looking to short this one. Um, let's see this on a daily. Mhm. When this thing does really start to sell, where's your support? Where is it? It's coming. It's a coming. It is a coming. You really gotta think, like, where's your support? Where is it? Down here? $7? Like, really, really, where is your support? I don't have any. Until you really get down there to $7, you don't have any. Yep. Don't have any. Let's take a look right here. Alright, we got virtuals, which absolutely lost all hope. It lost all hope. Let me put this on a daily so we can see this right here. So, Virtuals was getting the bounces off of this trend line right here. It looked like it had put in some attempt right here at one point. The next level of support for Virtuals is going to come in at the weekly level. I had drew out some boxes up ahead, and I'll break this down into segments so it doesn't look so large. But I had drew out some segments in here just to play the smaller ranges in here, but this was just for this range. So just think of it like you would a volume profile. It was just for this range right here, and price action is below it now. So um, yeah, and this support right here, yeah, yeah, it's gone. That's gone. So I am going to just delete this now because that's over. That is lost. That is lost. And sadly, didn't make it. Let's see, I'm gonna keep these songs though. Um, call it a range. Keep that, but we will. We're beyond that situation. Yep, we're beyond that situation. So, this is what I be looking for right here. This is 44.62 to about 20 cents right here, but we will break it down um, for virtuals. Nothing to do here right now, at least until Bitcoin find some footing. We got near protocol in here as well. The last time we were looking at near was looking at this resistance level right here. It was a last minute discovery right there, but then we came back up and we tapped that resistance again right here. It was looking pretty decent in here, but I think it did finish out a five wave move. Um, right here. It did finish out a five wave move. So you can see that right here. Five wave move right there. That's done. So you'd be looking for a three-way correction down. On the weekly time frame, I didn't find this one looking shabby at all. It looked pretty decent to me. So if we're well, we've already broke below this one right here. So should at least do about a 618, something like that on the pullback. Let me see what that lines up in here with what we have going on. I'm gonna take it from this low right here. All right, so we're coming into that now. Um, or maybe it does tap into that 159. But on the weekly time frame, this looks really good to me on the weekly time frame. Yeah, yeah, I still like near a lot. I still like near a lot. For me personally, what I'm gonna do with near is I'm gonna allow it to put in three wave structure first. Whatever happens in here, uh, the the position can still be taken. I'm just gonna give it a little bit of time to get down here at least. But this near looks good. Near looks good. I'm waiting on some confirmation right now for near, but near looks pretty decent. Let me look at it on the 1 hour. The 1 hour. Yeah. I'm just gonna set an alert on this trend line right here. Um, also follow along with these lows for near. I like near. Also don't have to use leverage on this one right here. Um, leverage is useful for capitalizing off of it, but really don't need it in this case. So looking down here around about this 183, 189, sorry, 189 in here. Um, hopefully it should stop right in there, but if not, then we'll be looking at the 786 zone here. It looks like near is expanding. So let me check that. Yeah, it is. And for that reason, I'm gonna wait for a trend break, actually. I don't usually like waiting on a trend break, um, but I'm gonna need to see that trend break. I'm gonna need some additional confirmation on near, but I like the chart, so we'll be looking for a long on near. So I'm gonna come back to this chart right here. I don't think that there was any other one in here that I really wanted to get into. AVAX is falling off a cliff right now. Um, I mean, Bitcoin goes down, you expect for the rest of it go down. The other one I was looking at was actually Undo. Undo was not looking shabby at all. Got Sui trying to bounce off of some support, but Undo was not Undo, but Algo. Algo wasn't looking bad. It wasn't looking bad, bad. It wasn't looking bad, bad. I was looking at it on a was it a daily I was looking at it on, or was it the weekly? The daily looks like trash. I think Undo has the hole right here. It might already be the golden pocket. Golden pocket 786 already. That's the hole right here. Um, well, certainly can't be trying to take out this low. I have an alert set on it. I just can't tell what time frame I have it set on right now. I must have been watching it on. Was I watching this on? Okay, 4 hour. I have an alert set on the 4 hour. So still waiting around this one right here. Um, I'll get rid of that line. That way it's not confusing. Just stay focused on here. I'm most certainly not gonna be looking to capture that, because it could put in the barrier of trying to come up. So, just waiting on this one also. So, Algo and Near, I actually like both of those, um, where I think something, some sort of a meaningful bounce can come in. It could be a good play. SPY this morning, um, did reject off of the 786. It did put in a lower high. It hasn't put in a lower low just yet, so the structure has been broken. We have to see what SPY is trying to do in here, but we know that we hit resistance in here on SPY across the highs, across the highs in here. We know that we hit the resistance level in here on SPY. Start to get that little bit of a reaction in here. We still haven't done much. We haven't done much at all. uh, so it's okay. It's okay. It's okay right now, but we did get that rejection, back test rejection. Now it just depends on what it is that we're doing in here. Um, so the higher time frames still look relatively nice here for the SPY, but the lower time frames are starting to show some signs of weakness. some signs of weakness that are starting to play out because there has been signs of weakness and momentum, but signs of weakness that are finally starting to play out here. Uh, Oil still dancing around that $92 level. As I said to you yesterday, when we were getting the breakdown right here, that it could want to do a screen off of this 92. I even posted it on X also, just explaining that even though we saw the breakdown happen in here, um, that I had called, I think it was the day before. Yeah, Wednesday we was up here. I was looking at it. I was like, okay, bear div on the highs in here with the rising structure, but it may try to do this spring effect right here at the 92.05. Bulls will have to defend this if they're stuck on oil. You're bullish on oil, then you have to defend this 92.05. Otherwise, I would be looking for it to come back down to 87.59, which has been um it's been a nice reversal zone for it. I think I was seeing what was I seeing in here? Like we bounced off of this base a few times already, around this base right here. You can see again back over. This must not belong to this time frame. Let me go here. Okay. You can see how every time we've come down into this base, we've bounced. Just depends on where price action is at the time, but it comes down to the base. It breaks it, it reclaims it, it goes, breaks it, reclaims it. You get a pop out of it continuously throughout here. So um, it's like a little back test right here too. So you know, bears have to be able to get it down past this 92.05. Have to be able to get it past this 92.05. Then you possibly have a head and shoulder formation right here, which usually happens after a rising pattern is a head and shoulder formation. Uh, Nothing confirmed in here just yet, though. SPY likes to round off, so we could be here for a while. We can definitely be here for a while. This is not going to be any different with me looking at the S&P 500. It's not going to look any different for me. Neither is the QQQs. It's not looking any different for me. Um, Although the Q's 1 hour doesn't look bad. Now it's a hot mess. The NAS with the bearish divergence. It's just gonna do one of two. It's just gonna do something like this though. It is. It's gonna do something like that. I don't. Yeah. This is only gonna do that. Um, I made it out of my, I did a option call SoFi on SoFi. I was saying that I was thinking that I needed to just really get out of it, and, 'cause I just didn't like some things that I was seeing. I don't know if it's gonna play out all the way or not. I just knew that I wasn't feeling comfortable with the SoFi, position, so once it got above my, slightly above my strike price, I went ahead and exited it. I did post it on X. Um, I wasn't really caring for it. I was liking, Hood a lot more, and I considered doing Hood yesterday, but not yesterday, the day before, 'cause I think I took that on a Wednesday. Yeah, I entered in on a Wednesday, and then yesterday, it got the pop-up there, what I was looking for, which, it wasn't too far from put this right here. It wasn't a big move. I think when it was all said and done, I think I was only profiting what, 50, 55, I believe, at the time. I think it was like, mm, was 55 on the dollar. I think that was all I was profiting was 55 cents on the dollar. Let's see what it's looking like right now. It's not showing me the extended hours there, so this is a bit too choppy, so I got no read down there. Bear flagging ever so slightly off of that 1 hour time frame. Like I said, no trend right now in the 15 or the 1 hour. But I do need to cover Celsius with you. I'm gonna cover Nike with you, and I'm also gonna cover Microsoft with you. Um, 6:44 already, so I should be jumping over into those things. Bitcoin is trying to roll over right here, though. Um, it's trying to. Not again. There's really no rush for Bitcoin. There really isn't a rush for Bitcoin, and to short the support level is crazy. You can scalp it. I'm not about to do that. I'm not. I'm not. This isn't a scalp channel. Um, I mean, I did scalp alone, just not scalping. I'm not scalping support. If break support, then okay, we can talk about it. It moves far further away from support, and we can talk about it. But not sitting on support, looking to scalp it. Um, looking to take a short on it. I think that's suicidal. Suicide. Some people who are really good at it though. I just think that it's suicidal to do it. So I'm gonna pass. It's gonna be a hard pass. Right, so this is the SoFi position right here. Like I said, I took I opened an option call on SoFi. It was for 17. I knew that price action was going to get hit to the 17 by looking at the 1 hour time frame. So I entered it back over here, and I was willing to cut it if it was gonna fail on me because I hate after hours price action. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to cut it after hours anyway. It would've just, screwed me over or whatever, but it was a small risk on it, nothing major for it. And then yesterday, when we did get this push up over here, I went ahead and cut it. I was looking for it to come up all the way here. This was gonna be another, place right here that I would have closed out the option trade on it. I just felt like it was in my best interest to just kill it, altogether, that day. I should have been more patient and just let it get down here to my trend line too. I didn't even do that. What I did was I looked down here and I could see that this is progressively looking to break. I actually think I took it initially, I was looking for it to break, where are we at? I think it was right in here or something. I think it was right in here. So I entered, yeah, I entered, and then, of course, it actually doesn't break until here after tapping into the ascending trend line, which I should have just waited for to start with. Um, I could have taken more off of that. I didn't like it. When I was looking down here, I could see the bearish rise right here. So I was like, "Yeah, let me go ahead and kill this. I don't wanna sit in it." And then we started to do this. We're trying to hold. I still don't like it. So I'm done with SoFi for now. But, Celsius, is selling off a bit. You can see here. Celsius is selling off a bit. Let me put us over here. Because with Celsius, Celsius has been one that I picked up into the portfolio here, up a little bit from yesterday, so that's not bad. That's not bad. When we broke above here, I did a Celsius call also, looking for Celsius to get above. I can't remember. Oh, I was looking for Celsius to fill in the gap. Well, I had did the Celsius call, looking for Celsius to get into the gap. We got there. It started to give a little bit more, but I was like, "I'm out." That's all. I'm not greedy. I'm not greedy. I'm going for what I'm going for. I'm not, yeah, because I was thinking that Celsius still had the ability to come up here, and Celsius is still looking nice. I did I have my briefing here. So the greatest of all trader media briefing here, where I highlight some things that's going on with Celsius. So Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, he launches an investigation into Celsius. Well, since Celsius owns the brand Alani New brand, which is what the investigation is really around, but Celsius owns them. So it's about their marketing practices, saying that their energy drinks are geared towards it reach children. I don't know what they're defining as children. I don't know what the age group is that they're defining as children. But when you start getting into lawsuits, and you've seen this plenty in the crypto space, when lawsuits come up, when the SEC was suing everybody, you saw how price action goes. So Celsius is taking a little bit of a hit. Um, some other things in here that I noted on Celsius also is just their brand extension, right? So they have spent some money, and Alani has been a good bit of profit for them, but Rockstar has not. So margin miss there, and you can see right here with the Q1 gross margins took a hit, dropping from 52.3% down to 48.3%. So 400 basis point drop. And a lot of that has to do with inflation, okay, freight costs, acquiring the company and all that good stuff. But in the end, in the end, Celsius still looks good to me. Like it's a buy. I'm not selling it. I will only add into it as we do drop down. This is nothing that can't be resolved. This can be resolved. So no concerns there for me when it comes to Celsius. The other thing I was looking at is Nike. Now, I've seen the headlines around Nike because we're approaching FIFA and they're looking to capitalize off of FIFA. Okay, so my thought process on that when it comes to Nike, let me put on this Nike chart here, is that this is a natural reaction. Like this here, the price action, it looks good to me. Um, we put in a low down here, put in a low down here. We did break up. We took out this liquidity over here. We pushed into a major resistance level, which is right here. What was that resistance level? It's so far out there. I can't let me tap on it. We pushed into a major resistance level, which was 47.25 after taking that liquidity. So yeah, that's price action. You go up, you get a pullback, you test the area to see if you can't put in a higher low. That's common. But the headlines are am I clicked on something? The headlines is this right here. Warning signs, all of this. Like if Nike takes out this low, then it's a warning sign. But the fact that Nike pushed up, hit some resistance while taking out some liquidity, and now it's retracing just to test the area and see if we're ready to put in more upside, that's normal. That's normal. That's what markets do. That's what they're supposed to do. So this doesn't bother me at all. Nike is still a hold for me. Nike's still a buy for me. Okay. Nothing concerning here for me at all. In fact, this 4 hour structure, eh, eh, it might continue down a little bit, but like I said, if it takes out this low, then I'll know Nike's not quite ready yet. But it doesn't mean I'm gonna go sell it because I still think that Nike, the Nike brand is coming back. That's my views on it. I'm sticking with it. Okay, I'm sticking with it. But yeah, I get it. I get it. Ahead of FIFA, you don't see, you want to see the price action really. I mean, but it's a pump and a correction right now. That's all we have right here, right now. A pump, and a correction. And so I express my feelings in here. As long as we're not taking out the low, this is normal price action. I don't really care less about that. Now, Microsoft, because I put out some analysis. Did some analysis on X yesterday on Microsoft. I hadn't talked about Microsoft in a while. I have talked about it here on the stream, but it's been a while even here on the stream since I talked about it. And a few concerns with Nike, but I also want to address the bullish narrative here as well because when I posted it on X, I realized, you know what, maybe go back and talk about a less bearish narrative. Hold on, am I not sharing? I don't know what just happened there. Let's see if that fixes us. Okay. I apologize. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, Microsoft, like I said, I put out some analysis yesterday, just giving an update on Microsoft since I had not posted anything on X in a while. And the last time I talked about it on stream, it's been a little bit of a minute here. Uh, what I was saying about Microsoft, let me get on this Microsoft chart. All right. So all right, so right here you can see this rising structure here on Microsoft. Now it's possible. I didn't share this on my X post. I did not share this, but it's possible. It's possible that this could be a five-way move to the upside. Microsoft gets the break below the rising trend line, and Microsoft puts in a higher low. So structurally, that's bullish. Okay, structurally it looks bearish. It looks bearish here. It looks bearish just looking at this rise, but this could be a leading diagonal. Okay, so I just want to express that Microsoft could have a leading diagonal. You put in your 5 wave move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you get the breakdown, and then you put in the higher low, and then you start the that'll be your second wave, and you start pushing up for 5 ways to the upside. Okay, so this could not be bearish, and this could be bullish. Okay, could this be a leading diagonal? Is this a head and shoulders pattern? I'm gonna take you on a higher time frame. We're gonna take a look at it because it did come into a key area of resistance right here. The 467 was something that I had been watching here from Microsoft. And you can see how I got it blued out right here. This is how I've had it. Any of my areas in here off of this Microsoft chart that has the same color with the trend line, those were critical pivotal areas. So if you look at it right here on the daily time frame, this is what we look like on the daily. I'm sorry. This is what we look like on the daily. Actually, I'm gonna put this on the weekly. That's better. Let me move this off to the side for a second. Let me take that away. Let's look at it right here. This is this resistance over here. And so from here, I don't like this weekly candle whatsoever. I don't like it. My concern at this point would be, is this a head and shoulder formation? Could it be a head and shoulder formation? We won't actually know that until we get the break. And if we fail to put in the higher low, then sure, that's what we have. But when we do get the break and we do put in a higher low, then just notate that this is a buy. It's going to be a buy because, like I said, that could be a leading diagonal. Here, we get a higher low, and then we start to climb here for Microsoft. Microsoft has sold off quite a bit, in my opinion. It sold off quite a bit from high to low. Let's see how much we're down from high to. Actually, I'm gonna see how much it dropped. It had dropped. So that was a 35% move to the downside, and right now you're looking at 23. Initially, we were watching Microsoft for mm, initially was watching Microsoft to take a long position right here. When Microsoft got here, my words were, "Nah, gonna have to wait on it. Gonna have to wait on it because it's showing that the price action was gonna put in an additional drop." That was the last post that I did. And so we did get that additional drop below this low right here, below the channel formation right here. We did get it. Um, Now that was pretty bullish of Microsoft to come in and hold this block right here, to hold that and then to reclaim back inside the channel and then start to bounce off of the channel. You could arguably say, okay, that's an inverse head and shoulders. You could right here. But this candle right here is nasty. And then we have that rising structure that we need to make sure it's not going to be a complete rollover and we're taking out this low and breaking this neckline. We have to make sure that that's not going to be the case. But I will be looking to get risk on Microsoft again if it does put in a higher low in here, and we can see the clean breakaway. But for now, just be cautious. Just be aware. Just be aware of the situation here. Okay, just be aware. That's all I want you to do is to be aware. Uh, Before we get overly bearish on it or overly bullish. All right, so that was Microsoft. And then last but not least, we do have a couple of companies reporting. That's the end of next week, though. I didn't really see anything that I cared to cover, but I will get into these right here. I'm gonna come back and revisit these right here. So you got Campbell's in your pantry right now. Campbell's. Got Cracker Barrel, Oracle, and Adobe. These two right here, I really look forward to. Oracle and Adobe. Thursday, or is this Wednesday? What is the 10th? It might be Wednesday. Uh, Yeah, that's Wednesday. So Wednesday and then Thursday of next week, you're gonna have Adobe. So interested in these right here. I did put a couple of notes in here on what analyst expectations are. So for Campbell's, they're looking forward to land around 51 to 53 for the quarter. So that's what they're looking for earnings per share. It's going to be 51 to 53 right here, a lot aligning with broader trend where six different institutional analysts recently revised their earnings estimates downwards. Okay, for Campbell. So looking forward to that one right there. Cracker Barrel. You remember when Cracker Barrel changed their logo? All the flack. Boy. They received a lot of flack on this right here. But anyway, wow. That was quite interesting for Cracker Barrel. Um, but Cracker Barrel right here, they're looking for a loss per share. So 0.43. What they're saying is, okay, so Cracker Barrel, the last earnings for Q2, so their earnings, it was a surprise for them. It was an unexpected 225% um, pull off, a massive pull off for Cracker Barrel. So they're not looking forward to do as well in Q3 because historically it's harsher. So they don't perform as well during Q3. So that's, I mean, at least it's expected. It could be baked in. I don't know if I got around to doing the Campbell's or the Cracker Barrel chart yesterday, but we still have some time. But I'm going to come back next week. Actually, this is on Monday. I'll probably do it over the weekend or something then, just to give an update on these two right here. But these are the big dogs right here. Um, was there in your tech sector. So you got Oracle and you got Adobe, and right here, Wall Street expects earnings per share of $1.96 right here for Oracle. Oracle is struggling underweight of heavy AI investments. Okay, so just understand that. Revenue is projected to hit 19.8 billion, 20% growth rate compared to the same quarter last year. Dun, dun, dun. In terms of the options data, 12% implied move, something else to be looking out for. And then, of course, Adobe right here. I put that in here as well. EPS of 583. So that's a 15% year-over-year increase on revenue of 6.46 billion, up about 9.9%. Five. The forward guidance. They pushed it from 580 to 585. You know how they get about forward guidance, honey. You be better be there. Better be better. Sometimes they don't even like for you to be exactly. You better be better. So I do have the charts mapped out on Oracle. Let's take a look at Oracle. I'm surprised. You know what? I think I had my Oracle charts. I got Adobe. Let's go with Adobe first then. Go with Adobe. That's old, but that has been happening right here. That 150 million DOJ subscription lawsuit. Apparently, Adobe was renewing subscriptions. Renewing subscriptions. That's jacked up. Um, we've already tapped into this resistance right here. Did I put in more in here on Adobe? Was that all I put in here on Adobe? I have a study in here. What's in my study? Oh, okay. So this was supposed to be a completed five-wave move to the downside right here. So this is supposed to be the end of this move to the downside, and Adobe should start to put in a corrective, um, some corrective structure in here to the upside. So possible that that was actually the low in here for Adobe. It did hit a little bit of resistance right here, but if we're correct, or if I'm correct on that, then that was the low for Adobe. We'll see how it turns out when earnings come out. I don't think I saw anything that no, I looked at oracles yesterday, but let me see. If there was anything that got my attention. No, no, there wasn't anything in here that I had any concerns over. Nope, nothing I had any concerns over in here. I do think that we finished out a ABC correction, five-way move to the downside. I do feel like we finished that out, and Adobe hit a low in here. I'm looking for Adobe to bounce. If that's not the low, and for some reason we put in another dip to the downside, I wouldn't look any further than right in here. I think that's why I faded this into orange, but right in here around this ascending trend line here, let me just darken that up a bit so we can see that. I'm gonna darken this one up too, although this one I'm not looking forward to, but this one right here could, if for some reasons, they missed, it was a miss, then I would be looking forward to drop down into here. And that's an even better price. It's more attractive down here. To be honest with you, it's more attractive. So look for that. Oracle, if you remember the last time, pardon the noise. Pardon the noise. Pardon the noise. So Oracle, if you remember the last time we was on this Oracle, man, it hit. It hit what we were looking for in here. Last time we was on Oracle, I recall that I tried to take a long in here on Oracle, before we was hitting the target because we had already defined that there was, some unusual activity in here and price action was likely gonna get down to here. That's something that we had been watching on stream back then, yeah, and it hit that, and then that was the end of it. It dropped a little bit more below that, but we recall looking here for the unusual activity. Actually, I took the long right there. So this was the long that I played on Oracle back here at the time when we was watching this couple of I think it's been a long time. This was months ago. This was months ago. Uh, so that little data is still in here. I did notice that insiders have been buying Oracle. I did notice that. So I don't know if they're buying it to drive price up and you know you know, drop the hammer on your head or not. Could it could be the case. Let me see when those dates were again. This was recent. Hold on, let me refresh. It's still on Adobe, honey. The last time I thought I refreshed, I was talking about Accenture. Now this is recent insider buying. So around June 2nd, insiders started buying into a week ahead of earnings. So just something to note, okay? Buying a week ahead of earnings. And then you can see all of that right here. I followed through on it. There are no 144s, and I clicked on each one just to see, but it is insiders acquiring. But like I said, and you can see the dates over here and when they're reporting for, but buying a week before earnings, it's just something that flagged me, flagged me a little bit in here on Oracle. Take a look here at the. Let me put it on a 4-hour time frame um, in here. So yeah, nice pop to the upside. Sometimes it works like this. That's another thing to keep in mind as I was talking about Microsoft, which I didn't mention, is sometimes it does this right here and then it breaks to the upside. Okay. Instead of getting the break to the downside, it will break to the upside. So Microsoft could also look to do that. Just note that as I was talking about it being in this same pattern formation, which is very, very common to start a really bullish move. I don't know. This is exactly what um, a good example from our crypto people is what Hyperliquid looked like before Hyperliquid broke to the upside. You have the rising formation, which is why you just gotta you can't get this is a pattern that you can't get too bearish and you can't get too bullish on. I've learned that in time that a rising wedge and a falling wedge or you know leading and ending diagonal. Like you cannot like they can be the same thing. Like you cannot get too bullish and you cannot get too bearish on these. You have to let the market give you the direction on it because you can get it wrong. You can get it wrong and you will get a pop to the upside, just like this right here. Um, like I said, that buying a week ahead of earnings is eh, eh. Right now, it looks like it could be continuation where I mean it's quickly approaching back into the green zone. That was a nice run up for Oracle. A nice run up for Oracle. And I didn't even play with it. I did not even play with it, man. I did not even play with it. 786. Pretty close to tapping into that level right there. I'm sorry, what I'm saying, 786, 1.618, my bad. 1.618. 1.618 there. So that should have been a 382. Let's just check that. I'm gonna draw it off of this low. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Assuming that holds, because we don't know what's gonna happen. Assuming that holds. We get right in here, around about 281, 292, right in here. We get deeper into the green in here. Hey, why crypto YT? Why crypto YT? Good morning, my love. Good morning. Hope you've been having a fabulous week. Is today Thursday or Friday? I hope today isn't Friday. Oh gosh, today is Friday. I'm losing track of the days. Today is Friday. Ugh, ugh. Yeah, but if this is what it is, then I would be looking for price action to get into about 281, 292. Maybe something more spectacular happens when they do drop their earnings. I already shared that. What were they saying? What were my notations in here? Um, Yeah, they're expecting some good things on Oracle, so it might just pop out like real hard. We seen the rest of them, during the earnings where they just absolutely go mayhem. So I like this. I like this so far. Too bad I did not buy the low down there. I yeah, I didn't buy the low. I actually just kind of lost sight of Oracle afterwards. Um yeah, just kinda lost sight on it. I did go in and put in a correction on something that I did on strategy too, so I'm gonna talk strategy real quick while I'm here because, I confess that I was so wrong. I was so wrong on strats. Um I was looking at strategy and we had did the breakup from here. We had broken out of this wedging structure in here to the upside. And I was calculating on strategy to be able to make it in here. And I did also look at the fact that it had hit this Fibonacci um, level back in here at the, hold on, let me put this on a 24-hour in here. No, not this one. Did I delete it? Okay, here we go. Here we go. I know that this is normally what I look for. If I'm trying to count, a 5-wave move, I normally look for it to come back into here. But in this case, I was measuring something out through here, and I was assuming that because I didn't have any levels in here, I ended up ignoring, um, what I would normally look for on an extended move, which is just to come back between the golden pocket and the 786. I ended up ignoring it and it actually stalled out there after, capping these highs over here. Ended up stalling out there because I said that I thought that it was gonna get up into here, and it didn't happen. Didn't happen. So, I was wrong on that. And so right now, I don't know what it's trying to hold right here. I can't for me, it's nothing. I don't have anything, markered out right here. This is like the area that strategy has been bouncing from, which is that 105. That was the last bounce that we had talked about, potentially. So this 105 has been, a bounce zone for it. If it comes back down into 105, it might be something to consider. It could actually break through the 105 this time and actually come in and hit this trend line. But beyond that, if you believe like strat is dead, then it'll be down here somewhere around 80. I got 75 because I've been using monthly levels on strategy. It's just been the most reliable thing to work with the monthly levels on strategy as opposed to me looking at weekly. But I know that over here in this weekly, on the weekly chart, right here. You do have a level right here, which is around 80 something bucks that it could hold if it was to come to that. But like I said, this has been where Strat let's push that in a little bit. This has been where Strat has seen its bounces from, just like the last one. So I know what that looks like, and I don't know what Strat is going through. I know what that looks like. I mean, Strat would just have to be dead for that to play out. It would have to be dead for that to play out, which means Bitcoin to be dead, okay? Can I say that word on YouTube? I think they started saying unalive. Um, yeah, that would be crazy. That would be crazy, but I should have put more emphasis on this right here, and I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I'm like, I don't have anything in the center, so it can't be that. It has to come up here and look at everything I had in the center. Look at everything I had in the centers to look at, but I had been so focused on my monthly levels, I didn't take into account what I usually look at here, which is again, a golden pocket 786 retracement, or extension in here, and yeah, it rejected, and sorry. I'm sorry. It's part of it. It's part of it. And and I don't even know why I had a bias because I'm not trading it. Sometimes I look at things and I look at it for the benefit of other people. I didn't benefit anybody there, unfortunately. I'm so sorry. But it's good to know market structure and to be like, yeah, yep, didn't work, didn't work, didn't work. But at least the bounce was correct and you got somewhere off of it. You did. You did. But that's yeah, strat looking rough. What were you saying? Why crypto? Friday all day. Yeah. Friday all day. Friday all day. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Let me check back on Bitcoin real quick here. All right, so we're still just flirting with our trend line right here. Just still flirting with our trend line. Looks like we just hit it exactly once again. Let me sync it in. Oh, I forgot I'm using the. Actually, I'll sync it in anyway. Um, Let me change it so it shows on this interval and below because I already have it on the monthly time frame. And then I'll sync it in, and then let me go to yeah, so you can actually see it from a lower time frame how we're hitting it. Let's see where that comes in at a lot better. So while it is dropping below it ever so slightly, let me add that VWAP in here too. Um, like I said, that VWAP is the first green monthly candle following the bear market. That's our bounce level right there. First time you see how we hit it. Second time you see how we hit it right there. So it's back on the 15 and see how it shows up over here. Okay, yeah, so it shows up as an overcast on the lower time frame. That's the thing about it, you know. Yeah, so I'm not gonna need that since it's showing up as an overcast. Let me see if anything else is helping with it that I can use for this specific time frame. Let me see if let me just turn all of them on. How about that? No, no, I'm not gonna be feeling that. Mm-mm. Yes, it's no good to me on the lower time frame, unfortunately. It's not working for me on the lower time frame. But again, like I said, you can see that's what we tapped the first time, tapped it again the second time where we got that reaction from, which is why I ended up taking the long position. Uh, and of course the parallel channel and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna just get rid of that because it doesn't work for this lower time frame. It's not working at all. This is the index chart. I mean, we're just at a dead standstill. We're at a dead standstill right now. Let's see if we were to tap this low right now, be 80, I mean 61, 861. Yeah. See, I don't this again from the 4 hour, it was a liquidity grab from the 4 hours time frame. Volume was lower here. So we did have the biggest divergence off of that. This looked like it was a capitulation candle. This really did up to the 4 hour time frame, but let's see. We shall see. So we see that. Yeah. It is bullish div. It is a bullish div on volume there. Um, One of them triple V's with the triple V's in here trying to reclaim that level, boy. Trying to reclaim that level. The thing is, it takes a licking and a kicking and keeps on ticking for sure. Look at it. Look at it. All I gotta do is take a long off of it and it'll fall. Cause my bias is short. All I gotta do is take a long off of it. And it'll do the opposite. And it will do the opposite. Still waiting on Zach. Still waiting on Zach. It would be nice if it did get another bounce off of that trend line right there at that 261. That would be nice. Still waiting, still waiting. Nothing has shifted in here just yet. Nothing. I tell you one thing. Hyperliquid. Got a little bullish divergence down here, but nothing to jump into right now. Again, weekly momentum was broken or is breaking on Hyperliquid. So all we'll be looking for is another lower high because this ended up being a lower high right here, double top at trend line. Double top at trend line. So and so here's what I was saying a few minutes ago when we were looking at Oracle. You know, sometimes you will get this like this, and then yeah, it's off to it's business. So Microsoft could also do that. It doesn't have to be that it gets the break to the downside and puts in the higher low and then pops up. It could also break to the top side of that formation. So just be aware of that. I'll tell you one thing. If Microsoft does that, I'm longing it. I'm longing it with a little bit of leverage. A little bit of leverage. It's just dragging behind right now. It's Microsoft. It's Microsoft. Like what the subscriptions are looking like. I don't know. It's Microsoft. Who ain't using Microsoft? This will probably actually flip around completely if we get back above this 62, 80 right here. But again, I'm being patient right now before I move into any of this. Um, you know what? Oh, I guess with Microsoft, if I was gonna take risks, it would probably be better to take it from here. I would prefer it actually tap into this right here. I suppose if I were gonna take it, this would be the place before it gets up here, right? That's way too much money up here. It's a little better on the eyes from down here. If I were to do it, this would be it. right here. Let me see something. BTCC, I'm coming back. Uh, Let me take a look at USDT dominance in here. Turn the dominance to looking strong. Not strong, but strong. Boy, this chart is depressing. This chart is really depressing. This would be my only catch 22 right here. Would be this right here. Just say that this was a wave 4, and we're putting in the 5th wave. What I was saying about that situation yesterday was over here, like, we can see how it played out over here. It didn't actually take out that high. It came really close to taking out that high the last time, but it didn't take out that high. And we look exactly the same. Now, I'm not saying that it has to do the same. I'm just saying that we look exactly the same. This time it looked like it's gonna take it out. That's for sure. This time it looks like it might do it. But same thing happened over here where uh it didn't take it out. We were putting in the bear div, the bear div, um, putting in the bear div right now. It still has to confirm. We haven't done that yet. And the high is sitting right there. We had just got a bounce off of the 382, which is bullish. We had just got the bounce off of, that's the 50% retracement, but that's my bullish combo right here. If you're bouncing from there, it's pretty good. Um, Structurally, it looks the same structurally through here, right here to here to there, right here to here to there. It looks the same, but I know it's different because if this succeeds this time, if this succeeds this time, then I will end up having to use that fib extension on Bitcoin. But I'm hoping it doesn't. I'm really hoping that it doesn't. And this would be where it bounced from. Right here, the 2020 to bottom is this bottom right here. It's this right here. Now, because I drew this off of the monthly time frame, I put it back on the monthly. I put it back how. Actually, let me unsync it. Let me put it back on the monthly real quick because I moved it because I put it on the weekly. I moved it ever so slightly. I'm gonna put it back how it was supposed to go, which is directly off of that low right there. And Come back over here to the weekly. See, because it was peaking, because I'm drawing it off of the monthly time frame, that happens when you move to another time frame, and I didn't like that, so I moved it ever so slightly. Um, but that is where we were, um, on that USDT chart at the same time. What's right down here? Uh, yep. So it's very interesting. Therefore, I like this low a lot. I like this low a lot, but it would, I mean, it would be a break if it doesn't play out like it did the last time. It just breaks it. Mm. So um, I cannot force it. That's gonna bother me seeing those little lines over it. It's gonna bother me. So I'm gonna drop it on this one. I can at least do that. Put it back on that low right there. Yeah. Yeah. So interesting, huh? But wouldn't that be the biggest upset? That would be the biggest upset. It's gonna be the biggest upset either way. It's gonna be a big upset for bulls. If it breaks, it's gonna be a big upset for bears. If it doesn't break and it just does what it did over here, doesn't take out that high and it rolls over what that bear did. If we just stay right here and we consolidate until the week comes to an end and then momentum just turns down on this thing. It never takes out that high. And it just does that. Boy, that would be the biggest upset. But it has to break down below here the same way it broke over here too. So we gotta see the break also. Still gotta see that. It's weird, yeah. Oh, Biddy. Biddy and USDT dominance, boy. Boy, boy, boy. A thing that would be sweet. That would be so sweet. The only thing I don't see over here too, you can see how we got the basketball effect right here. The only thing I don't see over here is we don't have that extra bear dip right here right now. We don't that we don't have. We got everything else. We don't have that extra bear dip right here, which means we would have to consolidate right here for a lot longer. It'll be a few more weeks of this. Sideways price action right here. Can we do it? Ooh, wait, can we do it? I want to laugh at this. I really do. Uh, I need this to be a little bit larger. And next time we come back to this, I hope it's not a crying face. I hope it's not. I hope it's not a crying emoji when I have when I have to come back to it. That would be a big upset. Oh gosh, don't be a crying emoji when I have to come back to it. Oh boy. Oh, but you know what? Let me do this. Then I'll bounce the horizontal in here, so we can have the actual pivot that we're bouncing off of right now. It's not monthly. That way, if this is poop and we're just spraying air freshener over it, we'll know it's still poop with some air freshener. It's not masking the scent. It's not. It still stinks. Okay, it still stinks if that happens. Um, I told myself I could have avoided taking those entries. I could have avoided. Um, now I've been fine down here. I've been fine down here, but when I did make my attempt at that golden pocket zone, and we only got the minor bounce on it, and then the drop and all of that good stuff. Or even before then, I could have saved myself the headache because um, I didn't wait for a shift in momentum, and you can see it off the daily. That's why I'm being a little bit more patient in here right now. I have played this low down here, and I have been profitable at these lows down here, but it doesn't compare because I did take a few chances prior to that, and they didn't work out. So it doesn't compare. Um, I'm still at a loss right now in the account. I'm still at a loss. But if I just stick with the fact that we haven't seen any sort of recovery on the daily time frame, and usually I will just focus on the 4-hour correcting and then the daily time frame, but I got caught up a little bit. I did. I got caught up a little bit, but when we're looking at the daily, like clearly you can see that we just decline, 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 and we haven't made any attempts to recover, to flip for momentum to change. We made 0 attempts to here, so it didn't make sense for me to make any attempts to here 'cause we didn't make any. The only time we did was right here. That was it. That was the only one. This one right here didn't even come back up, so that was a bad fluke right there. That was the only one where we actually did make an attempt right here. Um, and this was when we were trying to come for this liquidity right here. But at that time, when I was thinking that price action was going to get up here and take out this liquidity, Sailor sells right here. So it's Michael Sailor sells right there. That is where Michael Saylor sold at, and it was the week before it was reported, even though you had some YouTubers that were doing videos as if it happened, this week, and it wasn't this week, it was last week that he sold it, not this week, it wasn't Monday. The report was filed this week because you have time to file it, but the sale happened last week at 77,000. It happened right here off of this candle right here where Michael Saylor sold those 32 Bitcoins right there. God dang it. And then in here, was it right here or was it here? for me. I think it was right here. No, no, it might have been right here. It might have been right here. I felt so strong about my analysis that we were gonna come back up and take this liquidity right here that I sold out of my short position that I took right here. I took my short right here. I sold it. And then, I mean, that was it. I felt like after that point when I just saw price action just melting to the downside, it was too late for me to wanna consider, um, a long position. I mean, a short position because anywhere could have been support. Anywhere could have been support. Even with me looking at this, anywhere could have still ended up being support. So I didn't. Like I put a couple of shorts in here on stream, but none of them I participated in. Neither one of the two that I put in here, I didn't participate in them because yeah, for me personally, it just wasn't something for me. And even now, I'm feeling the same way. Like I know that we're at a support level. I just can't. I just can't. Looks like we about to put in the inverse head and shoulders on the 1-hour time frame. Like, I can see this little piece right here, but I'm talking about from the indicator. Yesterday when I was talking about the long position right here off of this low, we were coming back into the golden pocket 786, and we had the inverse head and shoulders here on, let me drop down 1. We had the inverse head and shoulders right here that I called out, saying that we got the inverse. So, you can see we got the inverse head and shoulders right here. So I knew that that was gonna, play out. This is where I had took the long from right here yesterday, and like I said, I played it a couple of times down here, but I got stopped out last night on my last attempt, and it looks like on the 1 hour looks like on the 1 hour, we're gonna try to do the same thing right here. It has to turn back up though, but it looks like we're gonna put in the inverse right here on this time frame. So I'm just gonna watch for it. I'll holler at you. But it has to be willing to turn back up. In fact, let me just set an alarm on this. I'm just gonna do one of these for now. You see that little head and shoulder? That's the beauty of an indicator because sometimes it won't show up in your on your candlesticks. It'll show up down here for certain. We had this little rising structure in here. You can see the pattern in here though, for the, uh, bear pennant that was in here. The bear pennant, you could see it. I'll come back to that. The crazy thing is on Bitcoin, like the 4 hour so far, it has finally tested, like you could tell the difference. We did see a little momentum break. It did put in a little bear div right there, and it's still kind of bear diving right now. But on the Bollinger Band, it has been tapping into standard deviation 1 now, and that's been the rejection point on the 4-hour time frame. That's what we've seen price action reject from, just down here in these, like, right in here. I mean, you can put a trend line on it now, but at least we got to a point to where we weren't just rolling on the outside, and we were able to start coming in and tapping into standard deviation 1. So we've been tapping it and rejecting off of standard deviation 1 this entire time, but at least this finally happened. Like I said, that's when you know your momentum is starting to fade a little bit. So you can see that nice little pop right there. It starts to fade at that point, and it might round out. I don't know. I don't know if they want to hold us here for the compression just for that extra pop to the downside. Maybe they need that, or maybe they're holding us here to cool off the indicators so they can't reverse it right now. It's tough information in here, but we have just been coming up here and rejecting. Those are scalp shorts. I just haven't been willing to take them. I've not been willing to take them. And when it does, or if it does, I will be looking for price action to come back into that 2021 peak. Two, two. So when that happens, that might start to shift things for the daily because the daily I think is still outside of one. I meant 2. It is. Daily is still outside of 2. That's why I said if I'd have just I wouldn't even played it. I could have avoided even playing around with it because it's nothing to fade when you're still outside of standard deviation too. There's nothing to fade. Like, it has to at least come back inside of standard deviation too. I mean, I just don't wanna be late to the party, I guess. I didn't wanna be late to the party, but I can't afford anything that's being sold at the party now, so uh yeah, like, we're still well outside of standard deviation too, and we just completely annihilated the level here, like, just completely, like, it was something before, but so you know that if it comes back into here, that's a rejection, and then what? Or possibly it's possibly a rejection. It's possibly a rejection. It's a chance I would take, I suppose. It's a chance I would take. I'm gonna wait for confirmation, that's for sure. But if it did bounce up, yeah, like, it just completely said it had no feelings for this at all, no feelings. But just think about this, right? Think about this, because a lot of people were complaining about the volume, and the thing that I kept saying is, if you're in a state of consolidation, you have a defined high and you have a defined low, volume is expected to decline. That's your confirmation that no one is in control, that price is consolidating. Volume declines. Volume peaks when you break either side of your ceiling or your floor. Volume peaks then. How much did volume peak? So what's really happening? Where is that strong peak in volume? Because it ain't this. It's not this. Where is it? Yeah, it picked up, but where did it pick up at? Here? The break is already done. I mean, it picked up a little bit right here too, but the break is already done. So where did the volume come from that we should have been seeing? Actually, let me move that. That we should have been seeing on this breakdown. That where is that high conviction in the volume? It did pick up. It did pick up a little bit right there. I just don't see the high conviction. I don't see the high conviction. But we know Sailor sold. Sailor sold here. No, no, no. Sailor sold up higher. Sailor sold up here, 77. But when we got this breakdown, where's the high conviction in the volume? It's not here. How is this a real thing? I still, like I said, two things can be true at the same time. It's not a bear flag anymore. We're breaking this trend line, but where's the volume to confirm? It's not here. It's not here. I'm sorry. It's not there. And it should have been there. Maybe it's on another time frame, but it should have been there. It should have been there the same way it came through over here. It should have been there. It's not here. And this has been a brutal move to the downside. But those same people who were talking about the volume ain't talking about it now because now it's going in, now it's in their favor. They don't care about that volume anymore. My thing is, if we got a defined ceiling and defined floor, when we break, volume should come with it. The volume should come with it. It shouldn't be right here in this candle right here that got sucked up. Your biggest volume is in the candle that got bought up. Explain that to me. How is the greatest volume in the candle that got brought up versus the candle that broke down? Please make it make sense. At least when this one got bought up, it came with some heat after the sell-off. But you can't say the same for the one that broke down compared to the one that got ate up. You can't say the same. Like this one got ate up, and it's your greatest volume. It should have been that breakdown candle. It should have been that candle right there that came in with that high volume. It didn't. Something's fishy. Something's fishy. I don't know what it is, but it's fishy. But I can't make it do anything I want it to do. So I just go with the chart that's sitting in front of me and just hush. Just hush. But it don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Somebody was asking this question like, what's your biggest flaw in trading? And my answer, you probably figure out who I am if I say that. I don't know. I said anyway. Um, my biggest error in trading is arrogance because I think I know the chart. And markets are very irrational. So they don't care if I have good analysis. It doesn't care. It'll eat right through it. And for me, it's disturbing. It's disturbing if I see something and it's supposed to make sense and it doesn't. It's like algebra. You tend to chase. I've overcome. I don't know if I ever had a problem with chasing. I do get FOMO every now and then. I won't lie. I do get FOMO every now and then. It's very seldom though that I do get the FOMO, but I do have the arrogance of thinking that doesn't make sense. It has to make sense. Just like me talking about this volume right now, it has to make sense to me, and it doesn't make sense. I will I will fight myself, which means I lose because I'm fighting what's in front of me. Like as much as I think I'm right, it's not what the chart is doing, and I will fight that, and I will lose money, and that's my problem. And I fought this. I fought it all the way down. I fought it, and it's been no good to me to fight it. So you hear me say, yeah, like I was comfortable. Of course, I'm comfortable taking the short up here. I'm not comfortable taking the short in here, even though it's right in my face. I don't feel comfortable because I feel like I'm right about this supposed to be going up, and it's not doing it. Because nothing is adding up. Like, sure, it could break down, sure, it could go lower, but can it make sense to me while it's doing it? And that's my problem. If it doesn't make sense to me while it's doing it, then I will fight it. I will buck the trend. And bucking the trend is bad, and I have to work on that. Because what happens if it reverses from here and then it doesn't add up for me again? Then what? I'm trying to short it and it's just going up. Because a lot of people, I know a lot of people did that with this trend to the upside. A lot of people saw this and they were bearish on it. Thank goodness I was bullish on it. But if I had a bearish bias on it, I probably would have done what everybody else was doing in here, which was trying to short it, and they just squeezed the crap out of me. But I didn't let this be a thing to me because we were in a pattern. And in patterns, volume declines. So that wasn't something that I needed to worry about. But other people were looking at it and looking at the volume like, the volume is down, the volume is down. We pumping and the volume is down. Like you're in a pattern. Like that's the structure. That's technically that's how it goes. Technically. Ask AI if you need to. But technically, you get declining volume and patterns. That's the purpose of them. That's the purpose of them having the volume on the breakout. So that didn't bother me, but for a lot of people it did. And so they fought this all the way up. They got squeezed out. And I could have been on the other side of that. Now I'm on this side right here, like, nah, buddy, you're not making sense. Let me go back over here real quick. I'll put it back on this one. So we're below our channel line right now. And we have our monthly pivot here. I mean, I don't think it's gonna make sense for me to do the Fibonacci retracement. I think we're pretty much through anything that would have been here for the fib. Let me change that. Let's see if maybe it does an SFP again or something like that. Maybe that. Um, see that volume continue to decline on that. Mm, and it declines further. It's just a lot happening right in there. I need that. I put it back. I think I need it right now. I like that. I nibbled a little bit off of that candle. I nibbled a little bit off of it, so I went extra smaller on it because the daily still got a lot of work to do. So I'm not expecting to get too much out of it, but I did take that entry just because um, it came back up the channel, here at this golden pocket 786. Just a little bit of a nibble off of that. It's usually when I do something like that that it actually does, it performs a lot better than my expectations when I usually do that. When it's like, you know what? I'll do 10% of the account right here instead, you know, of a third, which is what I tend to do is a third. That'd be the moments where it gives me more than what I'm expecting. It's 8 o'clock and we're starting to compress before market opens. We did have some data today. At 8:30, we do have average hourly earnings month over month. We have non-farm employment change, and we have unemployment rate at 8:30. So we got some volatility that's gonna come in, and like I said, we're starting to put in a little bit of a squeeze here on this 15-minute time frame, and so that could mean we could be prepping for that for market open with that squeeze in here. Could be prepping for market open. It's starting to, you know, some claws starting to come in right here. Um, starting, you see that? See that? It's turning in. Oh yes. 15 minute don't look like it's quite ready, but um, if it um, I don't know if it comes back down or something like that, I will. Uh oh. If it um, if it comes back down, I will add to it, or if that 1 hour does what I'm looking for it to do, then I will add to it. Um, but again, like I said, I took it because we were here at the Golden Pocket 76 and we started coming back up the channel low right here. So it was worth the risk anywhere in here, uh, be it the monthly level or or the channel. It's a good place to be risk on. I should have did a little bit more right there. I should have, just in case I didn't. Like I said, that's usually where I mean, we're in this little range. That's usually where it gives me more than I was expecting. And I be like, dang, uh, why couldn't I risk more there? right now, I'm definitely not about to make up that loss. Definitely not about to make up that loss. Back at the spot. See what we're doing, rejecting. I continue on with the current rejection. SPY. Gold. Not gold, but oil. Yeah, look at oil. Yeah, I mean, look at oil. Look at oil. Like I said, it looked like it was gonna do a spring effect right here because we have been springing off of here. Every time we have been springing off of here. I said I was gonna trade this on futures. I haven't taken the first trade off of any of this. It's been some. By the time I decide to do it, them calls won't work anymore. Break this right here. I mean, we it still could form some sort of a pattern through here, but we like up here. Okay. And yeah, look at AMD because AMD was still bucking the trend for a while there. It will actually let me not do it back here, but this is exclusively to Nvidia. But Bitcoin candle is still green. It's just not going anywhere. AMD was bucking the system in here for a minute. Intel was holding VWAP. It was still holding VWAP. I posted on this one yesterday. Okay, like it's still holding VWAP, and it looks pretty decent. Let me do an 8 hour. Oh, it won't show up on the 8 right here. But this could break down. I mean, it's bearish for right now, but it has been holding on to this VWAP in here. That was a trend line down here. I was looking for it to, you know, a little break right here, but it's still underneath this trend line right here. This one been getting slaughtered right here. No, it hasn't. It was a cute. Qualcomm. No, it's holding VWAP too. Who was it? I mean, that's a lot for the stock market. Let's be real. That's a lot for the stock market. Intel was showing a lot of sellers, but insiders looking to sell, but they haven't actually taken initiative on that just yet. Let me look back over here. Let me see. Hmm. No, that was more active. Hold on. That was more acquisitions instead. Hey, Yeah, there was only one. Yeah, Frank ain't in here trying to sell no more. Frank be selling all the time. Just one person in here that actually was looking to sell. A couple of insiders who uh, acquired more intel. All right, Biddy. Well, Crypto YT, did you chase that one? Did you take that drop? Take that drop. I wish I would put a little bit more in here. At least I would. I mean, I could just take what I got right now too. Like, I don't have to be greedy. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing right now. It's nothing right now. So I ain't taking nothing. It ain't nothing right now. I'm gonna wait to add though. I'm gonna add 1 hour. The 1 hour does that inverse head and shoulder. Um, it plays that out, and I will. That standard deviation, one for the 4 hour, I know on Blowfin it's 62,854. Yes, we've been rejecting there. Well, it'll be 62.8 something on index as well. It should be something like that since we have been rejecting there. It's probably that trend line that I took off the chart. I have to thin this out so I can see it a little bit better. Uh, yeah, 62.8. Yeah, it would still be, yeah, it would be back into that trend line for rejection. That's it. Unless it's ready to break through that standard deviation one, it'll still reject somewhere right in here. I think that's good enough. I think I did do it like that. That's as much as it would give. And if it breaks it, then we would make it into here. Like I said, when I put in, when I go less, when I add less to my trade, that's usually where it gives it to me for some reason. You know what it is? It's psychology. It's like she's scared now. It's usually when you're scared. Because I did say arrogance was the problem, right? So it's usually when I'm scared um, that's what I should be doing. In 10 minutes to that data comes out. Let's see if this is the first time. This is actually, no, it's the second time. Hmm. Come on, Biddy. Come on, Biddy, Biddy. Markets look rough, though. They do look rough. They do look rough. I know where it is now, so I just deleted it because, either, I mean, it's just too many lines. But come on, Biddy. Come on, Biddy, Biddy. The little lows down through here. It's fine. I mean, it's been whipping up and down them this entire time. Don't get brand new now. 5 minutes of macro data. Again, we have average hourly earnings month over month, non-farm employment change, and unemployment rate. Less than 5 minutes for that to come out. Got a little squeeze in here. It's risky business. Stop loss in place. Just in case they come with the shenanigans. And for me, my stop loss is low. And the reason why is because it's the Bollinger Squeeze, like compressing. And if it did break down, I would be at risk of another expansion that could that could send it down. It could be a failed attempt also, but no need in me putting it down here because that's far outside of the expansion zone. If it's gonna break down, it'll break down from there. If not, then you know I don't have anything to worry about. So what I'm saying is this is compressing. So if it was to flash down, then this would just do one of these numbers right here, and I don't need to be in the way of that. I put my stop down here. I don't need it to be down there. Because if that happens, I don't know what's going to happen to me, to be honest. So, senseless. The daily RSI has been looking horrible. That's how weak it is. Been around 17 and lower. I think at one point it did. I think out of this bounce right here, it got into like the 20s, maybe 23, something like that. But for the most part, it's been around 17 or less. And and the daily was what I was banking on, but the daily started walking the line and been walking the line ever since. Right, 1 minute. Price action will react before Forex will. I need to use another calendar because Forex, it'll sit there and it'll just blink for a few minutes. Well, not for a few minutes, but for several seconds before it actually shows you the result. The price action will have moved before I even see what it is, what the number is. All right, and news is out, but it's still pending. Non-farm employment came in at 172. Forecast was 85K. Uh, that's well beyond what they were expecting. Polo Canada. God dang, Canada. Everything else came out of expectation. You see the price actually reacting a little bit, but non-farm came out at 172K. Um, Forecast was 85K. Higher than is good for the dollar. So it came out greater than forecast. That's good for the dollar. Did you see Canada? See that? Canada? Yeah. It's really a bad idea to trade news. I appreciate you, Crypto YT. Um, yeah, I mean, we're in the zone, guys. That's all I can say. We're in the zone. We're trying to hold this zone right here, lower side of the channel, VWAP, on that monthly time frame. So, I mean, I'm risk on again right here. That's all I can tell you. Still look like garbage on the 4 hour and the daily. We still look like garbage on 4 hour and daily. If we've been getting anything, we've been getting it from lower time frames, but we still look like garbage here. Like I said, the strongest volume came in on the candle that got sucked up over here. Not the one that broke down. Don't mean anything because we still rolling over, but it looks like garbage here. Still outside standard deviation two there. Um, no, no change. That was. Hold on. What do I have to? Let me put this back to my 4 hour time frame. Like I said, you've been hitting standard deviation one and then rejecting at best. Uh, and again, you can see the volume through there. Um, no momentum change in here whatsoever. Still relaxed. This can go on for some time before it even comes up. And right, I don't even need these right here. I'm gonna keep this lower one because that was our momentum low back over here. Keep that one. Uh, After a while, I'm not gonna even need that one, and my attention is just gonna be on coming back above that diagonal right there. Um, yeah, I'm just trying to hold here. We can hold here, then let me see what VWAP looks like. I have to put it on the monthly chart to see it because it's hard for me to tell what is what. Let me see what it comes up looking like on the weekly. Okay, so it comes up the same here on the weekly chart right here in our lovely parallel. I love the parallel. Comes up the same. Okay, so our prior highs that we're holding. You want to look at the horizontal prior highs also. It's all the bears really need is to lose this. I want us to quit tapping on it for sure. We really want to quit tapping on it. I mean, like we tapped it several times back over here too. We tapped it several times. It did eventually break down, pushing into these highs right here. That and here, yeah, ended up pushing into these highs right here. Oh, you know what? I think I need to change this extension. I do. So let me change this. Oof, put that back. I am living in a simulation. We put that back. I mean, it doesn't change anything. Max pain, max pain, max pain. 1 to 1. One 1 to 1 is here. Max pain, max pain. It doesn't change anything. It's easier on my eyes. Easier on my eyes to see it like this. Oh no. Oh, I see it like that. Ooh, still working on this inverse if we gonna get it. A little tweeze bottom right now. I did add a little bit more into that since we were here, but that's all I got. Let me see what that did for the dollar. Let me at least see what that did for DXY. Oh, shoot. Look at what that did for the dollar. Dang. This one. Look at what it did for the dollar. Oh boy. Nice little pop. Nice little pop for the dollar. For the DXY. Nice little pop. It's a blimp on a higher time frame, but it's a blimp over here. And we are still wrestling with some resistance here. A lot more visible here on the dollar through here. Actually, I think I was on a monthly time frame observing it. So yeah, we are still hitting some resistance right in here. Requires you to drop to a line chart. Are still at some resistance. We are squeezing in here. Um, are squeezing in this little tiny section right here. The dollar is squeezing. So we got to talk about the best diversification into the stock market because AI is going to get hit hard. That dollar pop, that dollar break out of this to the upside. AI is gonna AI is gonna get hit hard. Tech sector is what's gonna get hit hard. You have to consider what's gonna do fairly well. Um, yeah, we're gonna have to consider what's gonna do fairly well. Healthcare, because it's gonna make a lot of people sick. Healthcare, healthcare is gonna do good. if if this wedge right here that the dollar is in breaks to the upside, healthcare is gonna do real good. It's a nice little pop for the dollar though. Huh. I say that jokingly, but I know that some people do suffer from that type of stuff. So wishing everybody the best. That's why investing is really, and you only put in what you can, what you don't need immediately. That's all you put in. What you know you're not gonna need, like, you don't have an emergency need for it, that's all you put in, whether it's investing or trading. Trading, you don't put in any more than you're willing to lose. Investing is something that you don't need right now. I don't need it. I'm good. This is my this is my savings. That's what you put into investing. The trading, you kiss that money goodbye. So, hopefully everybody's doing that. I'm surprised that we're holding up okay right there. I didn't see how S&P responded to that. I just noticed the dollar. Yeah, I mean, it responded a little bit more to it. It really looks like Bitcoin. It really looks like Bitcoin at the moment. But hopefully they've decoupled a little bit through here. Um, hopefully they have. I mean, when it was going up, it was decoupled. You can stop with the shenanigans now. Spy, spy. Uh, the dollar looked nice. Mm, could this be? Nah, that looked like that was gonna be a head and shoulder right there. I remember that. But what had happened was the basketball effect. I think we got the spring effect. Yeah, we did. We got the spring effect. We're not getting it right now. How did you do? Same. Anyway, how did the rest of you respond? Yeah, tech sector is gonna tech sector is gonna suffer if that dollar breaks out. Well, I'm telling you, tech is gonna have it. It's gonna be a buying opportunity for sure. Um, let me see how Apollo is doing. I haven't even looked to see if I got stopped out on it. Um, Actually, I can see it better from here. I haven't looked to see if I got stopped out. It looks like I'm still holding on. Yeah, I'm still hanging in here because I had to put a stop on it. I was sharing yesterday that after their earnings, they did really well. That nice big pop up. I was like, yes, look at my account. Look at my account. And then it said, no, look at your account. Look at your account. I was like, okay, let me just go ahead and put a stop loss in on it because, like I told you, I sold snow after it pumped, and I rotated it over here into this one after that happened, after that little sell off happened, and it came back up. I rotated into this one, and it was a good decision, but it was out of my character, and it was looking nice. And then that happened. I was like, "Oh gosh, I'm not gonna get back what I just made off snow." So I just set stop loss in here, but I'm still hanging in there. I'm still hanging in there. I didn't even look to see, like, what happened in here. It could have been forward guidance. It could have been that. It could have been something like that. I don't I don't think I ended up seeing, I don't know. We had the same thing happen with, CrowdStrike and, um, dang it, who was it? Oh, I'm having a brain fart right now. Having a brain fart right now. Take a look at gold too, and then I'm getting out of here. I appreciate you, appreciate you, appreciate you. Um, I wonder how this is still doing. It's still doing. It's still going. Um, barely. It's yeah, it's barely still going. Um, what are we doing over here now? It's still holding up. Still holding up after that breakout. Am I passing it? Yeah. So, CoreWeave. No, no, not CoreWeave. What am I doing on CoreWeave? Um, CrowdStrike did get a rejection. We were looking at this yesterday because I was saying that it's only come back into where the RSI momentum level was at, and it did violate it. It did not violate it. It actually held on to it and that will pop back up here. Um, it's barely hanging in here. Though. We had CrowdStrike, and we had who else was it? Um, um, who was it? I can't remember who else it was that had the earnings. With, with CrowdStrike. Let me see Micron looking like. Yeah, Micron got that pop after Jensen. Let me put this right here. I would like for this to come back to this trend line. Probably not going to happen. Yeah, this is another swing about to happen to the upside. Maybe tap on that 382 first and then do it. It's going to swing back up here in a bit. It's so expensive. Um, Marvell, consolidating. Sort of pattern in there. Marvell, some sort of a flag or something like that. I can tell it's going to do the spring thing through here where it's squeezing. So it is just shifting into a pattern right there. Cool. Who else was it? I know Dale had gave back some of it. I thought, yeah, Dale did because after earnings it shot up here like that, and it's been It's getting ready to pop again. Yeah, this is getting ready to pop again right here. You can tell. Now it's still been doing really good. It did. I had posted on it before it got in here, but I was like coming into our resistance right here for it. Still hanging in here. So this one has still been doing good for me. I can't find who it was. Um, let me see gold. Yeah. Gold still struggling. I would again still like to see gold come down here to this trend line. If gold gets down into here, then okay. It might be worth taking a look at there. But I want to see it come down into this trend line. It didn't quite hit it the first time, but that would be good to come back into here. It looks like it's getting ready to pop, but that's what I would like to see. Mm. If we were talking about a possibility for an inverse right in here, and that was just based on this, you know, this channel, and it was holding right through here. But if it's coming all the way back down here, then momentum is declining, and I would just be thinking that it's going to come back and tap on that ascending trend line that we have down lower. Um, yeah, that would be my thought. If it comes all the way down here, then that means that it was too weak to make it back to the top side of this trend line, and momentum is declining, and I would be looking for it to just come here. So this would go away. This channel would just go away. Maybe some sort of a uh, overshoot in here or something. I don't know. But so far, that's not the direction. That's not the direction. Mm, that's not the direction. So no rush, no rush. But momentum is declining. It's getting all the way back down here first. It really looks like Bitcoin right here. Let's see. Daily again. I'm flirting around with. Oh no, I didn't change it over here. Um, Dang, I didn't change it over here, so I can't show you. I'm playing around with it right now, so I don't wanna share what I was doing, but I was modifying it. I didn't do it on this, I didn't do it over here, though. So, yeah, again, if it's coming back to the low of that channel, then that's, it's too weak, and you're looking for it to come lower. I really can't see that. Take that away from me. I can't do the thing I was trying to do. Mm, Anything better? It all looks, again, that still looks corrective. It's just not coming, it's not working right now. Exaggerated there, did right there. That's just exaggerated. Nothing harsh. That still, I mean, this looks corrective. This is gonna end up bouncing, but I think it comes here and does it. It looks almost like it would. That's just too much. Probably is too far out there. I'm still considering the fact that I'm still considering the fact that the momentum did not get back to the top side of this. I'm still considering that, but which is, let's just do away with that situation. It's not gonna look right on the. It's not gonna look right on the lower time frame. At the end of the day, I'm gonna blow that other one out here a little bit more. Blow that front one out here a little bit more. Wash that one out. Let me pull this out a little bit more. Whether we go for the falling or it's the same thing. Just be a faster break that could end up acting as resistance, or you could break through that. It's gotta be like that. That's what it is. It is corrective. So it's gonna bounce. just when. That's why I would like for it to come here. Instead, I do it like that. Let's see if I can't see the image a little bit better. Use this. Let's see if I can't see the image better. Um, it basically looks the same. And I will wait and see if it doesn't come down into here. This is sitting so close to a point where it could pop that low, which means that it's sent price down. It hasn't popped that low in a long time. This is when the last time it dropped outside of that. It's back here. This is the last time it dropped. That's 2023. The last time it popped outside that low is right here. So if it breaks that low right there, then you're getting a little bit more sell off, and it's sitting so close to it. It's not been this close in a long time. I'd say let it get in here or something. And then if it looks right, take it. Compared to look exactly the same. I don't see any difference between them. Yeah, nothing looks different. It's usually something that looks different, and they look exactly the same. Making sure my eyes are not deceiving me anywhere. It's about the only time they deviated. This went higher, and that went lower. But I don't see anything that looks different. It looks exactly the same. No deviations there. Yeah, it looks like garbage when you come over here and look at it. So I'm gonna hide that. All right, love and appreciate you. I'm gonna get out of here. Appreciate you more, Crypto YP. Yeah, we're not doing anything. We're still just holding and chopping our channel line in here. So hopefully that'll change soon. Hopefully we'll see some sort of a and I say that because it hurts the altcoins so bad. It hurts the altcoins so bad. Um, and to be bearish, it just kills altcoins. Nothing changed over here with our Zcash either. It because I was looking for this long. It's starting momentum is starting to come up. It did drop back down here again, which is what I was waiting for it to I'm waiting for it to finish chopping around before I make my decision on this one, on entering into this. So still chopping around in here for me. Um, let's see what we got going on over here with Hyperliquid. Same scenario, still chopping around. Although Hyperliquid does look like it's going to get a push back up here, probably back into these lows, something like that. I would consider, because the first time it went beyond that, uh, something in here for rejection. I was looking at this low right here, but it could also do something like that for the rejection and start to do something. If people are still bullish on it, then maybe it'll flag out. Otherwise, I'd be looking for another little shoulder in here, given that the momentum is breaking on that weekly time frame. But definitely look like it's about to put in a little pop right here. I think that I did change this over here. Yeah, so I changed it over here. Actually, let me use this to look at gold real quick. Since I'm playing around with something, I just want to see what that gold look like on at 4 hour. Yeah, it looks like garbage. It's choppy still. It's choppy still there. This is the only one that's not choppy yet. The weekly. The weekly is very clear on it. As I play around with the sourcing on it, just trying some stuff, just trying some stuff. So yeah, never mind, never mind. Where we at? Because that's choppy. That did nothing for me. Yeah, not looking bad for a little pop. For a little pop there. Even for the ETF, for a little pop there. This is going. This thing right here just gets on my nerves. We was just looking at it, trying to get back in here, looking like it was gonna. I said if I take a long on it, maybe it'll drop. Just take a long on it, maybe I make some money. Hmm. Where are you going, BBB? Yeah, it's about to push back up here though. It's about to push back up here. I don't know. Maybe it wants to try to get back to the top side of this range right here. If it does that, this thing is crazy. I don't like it. But that and Zcash still needs a little bit more bouncing around, if you ask me, and Hyperliquid are both about to get a little pushback up here. I still would be careful. I mean, yeah, they're about to get a little pushback up here. Support. They both hit support, so they both hit support. Even Zcash hit support when it hit right here. So I'll take a position on this thing. I don't like it. I'll take a position on it. Maybe that'll help. Um, uh, the let me see. Let me see if that's what you really look like. The exchange on the platform is looking like this. Before that's what I'm saying. See, I know if I take this long, it'll dump because I don't like it. They can get all the way back up here. Just open mouth. Or it can stop right here. Keep going down. Trying to play around. But it looks like it's gonna pop up. I'm gonna give her a shot. Ooh, I don't like this thing. Alright, here it goes. I'm trying to see if I'm trying to make a 7. How much I'm willing to risk. All right, I got him in on it. In on it. I didn't do any more little 10x, little 10x on the thing. I do not like this thing. Maybe I fall in love with it if I make some money off of it. But with that said, I'm out of here. Love and appreciate you, and I'll see you.